We tell stories at Milwaukee PBS. Here's one you may have missed.
I thought for a brand new season I'd try something different. I'd have my own do-it-yourself bubbler here.
No, you shouldn't do this.
I shouldn't? Why
No,
not?
because you're going to have to pay to get your bike out.
My own bike? I'll pass.
Welcome, Season 8.
Glad to be here.
Episode 1. It's exciting.
It is.
First question of the new season. What is a Haymarket?
Think of it, John, as kind of a gas station for hungry horses.
Okay.
Back in the days when Milwaukee ran on real horsepower, there was not enough land in town to grow hay, so farmers brought it in from the countryside. There was a big market down here at the foot of the hill around 5th and Bolete, and they sold tons of this stuff, plus produce for actually human customers.
Because people lived here.
They did. This was a very dense neighborhood. Early on it was very German, some Czechs, some Dutch as well. And it was not just residential back in those years. This is before zoning, so you had the Schlitz Brewery on one side, Pabst on the other, and in between just this hodgepodge of homes, and churches, saloons, and factories making everything from boots to barrels. It was really chaotic.
When did the Germans move out?
By the 1880s, they were pretty well gone, and the next group through was Eastern European Jews. By 1900, they had swelled the population of Haymarket to roughly 5,000 people, and there were about a dozen synagogues in this square mile, and some were so close that the rabbis could almost shake hands out the windows.
Hence the Golda Meir School?
That's where it comes from.
Good.
Golda arrives here as an 8-year-old girl back in 1906, and she really took to America. She was first in her class at what was 4th Street School, and years later, after she was Israel's prime minister, they named the school for her, and it's now Golda Meir School for the Gifted and Talented, MPS School. Another really important institution here was almost across the street on 5th, and that was a community center called The Settlement. Back in 1901, as a fundraiser, they bound the recipes from their cooking classes in a thick book called The Settlement Cookbook.
There you go.
One of the most popular cookbooks ever published.
Yeah. Who else lived here?
1920s, it had gotten very mixed. There were Greeks, Hungarians, Slovaks, Croatians, African Americans, and they moved into one of the oldest neighborhoods in Milwaukee, and the years had not been kind. There's a lot of blight here. So in the 1940s, in the middle of World War II, the city decided to kill two birds with one stone, knock down those blighted properties and replace them with a public housing project for all the defense workers who were kind of pouring into Milwaukee.
And is that what this is here?
Not really. What happened was there was so much red tape and so much argument that the war ended before they could break ground. Okay. So what it became instead was Milwaukee's first public housing project for low-income households. They called it Hillside Terrace, opened it back in 1948, and it's been expanded and modernized, but Hillside Terrace is still a model project. What you have here is $1 million views on the edge of downtown with public housing rents.
Yeah. What else goes on in the Haymarket?
A lot of energy. The Bucks Arena is certainly a catalyst. A lot of businesses in the area east of 6th, and new private market housing, apartments and condos, and kind of a new emphasis on the fine arts as well.
Good. And population?
About 1,500.
Good. And borders?
Very compact. Haymarket runs from King Drive or 3rd Street to I-43, and from Juneau up to Walnut. Very small area, very rich history.
So it was called the Haymarket,
It was.
And then I didn't hear about the Haymarket, but now it's called the Haymarket again.
They brought it back.
Isn't it nice?
It is.
Yeah, and it's only going to cost you a couple bucks to get your bike.
Can I use your credit card?
You can. Thanks, John.
See you, John.
See ya.
Watch Around the Corner with John McGivern on Milwaukee PBS and watch online at milwaukeepbs.org.